Down the home stretch of the regular season we go. Tonight we come to you from Logan, Utah, where the Aggies have won 3 straight inside the Spectrum, but it's a tough one tonight. The league-leading Wolfpack of Nevada, led by the Martin twins, are in town. Nevada, Utah State coming up. You're watching March to March, presented by California Almonds. Inside the Spectrum, the Aggies are happy to be back home here. They've won 3 straight in this building, now trying to knock off a ranked opponent for the first time since 2007. With Dan Dickow, the former All-American at Gonzaga, I'm Darren Goldwater. Nevada comes into this game having beaten Boise State on the road. What's important to them now down the home stretch?
Well, it's a difficult game for sure, but for Nevada, they are playing not only for a Mountain West Conference title, but for NCAA tournament seeding now.
They're as tough a matchup as you can find in the Mountain West. Let's take a look at our AT&T Fast Analysis to find out why.
Well, they've got a big 4. Jordan Caroline on the inside, 10 double-doubles on the season. Kendall Stevens is a deep three-point threat. Caleb Martin is one of the best scorers on the entire West Coast, and his twin brother Cody can literally do everything for Eric Musman's ball club.
So if Caleb Martin is one of the best scorers on the West Coast, we're almost all the way out there here in Utah, and the Aggies have a pretty good scorer themselves in Sam Merrill.
Yeah, Sam Merrill, the sophomore, has really made a big jump in production from freshman to sophomore season, and he's doing it in more ways than just shooting the basketball. Been playing well as of late, 33 in their last game, unfortunately a loss at New Mexico, but he was 7 of 8 from the three-point line. He's a skilled basketball player, high IQ, can really shoot it.
Second matchup of the year. The earlier one went to the Wolfpack in a blowout. Can the Aggies get them back, move a little bit farther up those Mountain West standings? Aggies in the pack coming up.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by California Almonds. Own your everyday, every day. By the General Insurance. Get a free anonymous online quote now. And by AT&T.
Moments away from tip here in Logan, Utah. Just a second ago, Eric Musselman in the locker room addressing his team.
Do your job. Whatever you're good at. Hallis, play defense, get loose balls, get rebounds. Kendall, get your feet set ready to catch a 3. Do a little bit of everything. Josh, play the defense that you played the other night. Phenomenal job. Garden, Boise, great job. Get ready to get in attack mode. Don't settle. Get some FTAs. Get a ton of offensive rebounds, ton of free throws attempted, Jordan. All right, and do the job when we switch like you have been with the high hand in the eyeballs, and come in and just rebound and play your butt off, all right? Any questions on anything? No questions? Let's go. Let's get this game.
Let's go, man. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3, family.
Musselman's lineup does look a little bit different here today because of the injury to Lindsey Drew on the final play of the first half. In the game at Boise State, Hallis Cook will start for the 3rd time this season. It's a veteran senior presence and one of the guys that's been around this program for a long time, stepping in for their point guard.
Yeah, he's going to be a defensive presence, has the ability to knock down shots when left open as well.
Tim Duryea is in his 3rd season as the head coach here, but he has been in Logan for 17 years. He was the longest tenured assistant in the league before he got elevated. Utah State plays well at home. They average about 13 points a game more in this building than on the road, and they've beaten Nevada 3 out of the last 4 times the Pack have made the trip here. This is Cody Martin to his brother Caleb. Caleb's the better scorer of the 2. Here's Jordan Caroline now.
You'll see a lot of pick and roll sets and isolations out of Nevada due to Eric Musselman's NBA background.
One and done the first trip down for the Wolfpack. 22-5 on the year. An RPI in the top 15, pretty comfortably in the field at this point.
I would agree. I would think that they're playing more for seeding, barring a complete collapse down the stretch of the season. But the way they've played throughout the season, they've built quite a resume.
A lot of length on the perimeter here. Brito manages to hang on to it, slips it underneath, and Taylor's got us on the board.
Right off the bat, you see a difference in offensive philosophies for Utah State. They're going to really spread the floor. They're going to dribble weave actions at times. They will post entry to split. Or as I mentioned, Nevada is more of an NBA-style offense. They're going to go at mismatches and isolations and try to create opportunities quickly.
A couple of the matchups we will keep an eye on. Certainly the Martin brothers, and whether or not Merrill can limit Stevens. We got a foul on the inside. That'll go against McEwen. A couple of very talented sophomore guards. McEwen out of Toronto.
At the free throw line, Jordan Caroline.
And here's where Caroline has pretty much made a living this year. He is pushing up on 200 free throws this year.
He's such a load to cover for opponents in the Mountain West Conference. Big, strong, wide body. He's got great hands, and he's got a nose for the ball. He puts it up if he doesn't feel it's going in. He's such a quick jumper. He's typically first to the ball, giving himself another opportunity.
Tournament resume here for the Wolfpack. Dan says that they're probably playing for some seeding now. And what's huge, what you're starting to hear a lot of, is the quadrant victories. They got another one on the road at Boise State.
Those are big when it comes to Selection Sunday and the committee and how they're going to look at strength of wins. They've got a couple good ones in Boise State and another one against Rhode Island, who has played very well in the Atlantic 10. Lost the other night, but that is going to be a good win for them when the selection committee looks at it.
Rhode Island had the nation's longest winning streak, snapped at St. Bonaventure. Good kick out to McEwen. That's his 53rd three of the year.
That's textbook offense for Utah State. They want to spread you, attack with the bounce, and find open shooters. They want to take 25 to 30 three-point attempts tonight.
And that's nothing out of the usual here. Caleb Martin doesn't draw the iron. Utah State putting up about more than 40% of their shots from distance. That's what they do, because they've got a couple of guys who can can them like that. Sam Merrill on the board.
Stays hot from the other night. New Mexico game, 33, which was a career high, 7 of 8 from the three-point line.
This is Cody Martin here, the older brother of the twins by an entire minute. Now Caleb gets doubled here on the baseline. That ball deflected, still finds Caroline. Jumps through the double team. That's deflected inside by Taylor. And they didn't get that one off. Would have counted had it gone. It seemed to me as though Caleb didn't get it off.
Good awareness, allowing loose ball ability to get it up on the rim at least.
Turned away on the inside. That was Stevens who got a hand on it. Now it's Stevens on this end. Sharpshooter off the mark on his first try. And we're coming back the other way.
Can't give space to a three-point shooter, especially one with size. A little rub screen and roll in transition. Caroline switches, but he doesn't take anything away. Merrill recognizes it. Nice knockdown three over the top.
There's Brito now in the corner. The stick pass over the defense leads to an offensive rebound. Taylor wanted to pass, then he thinks better of that, and he's got four.
He did want to pass, but that's where he's at his best, getting on the offensive glass and being a pest.
How about that? Martin goes flying coast to coast. That was Cody who picks up the foul.
And Taylor active on the offensive glass, surrounded by three Wolfpacks, still able to get up and finish it. But that's one of the areas that I think Nevada is so good at, is pushing in transition when the opportunity arises. That time after a made basket, Caleb Martin gets down the floor within 2 or 3 seconds, putting foul pressure on the Aggie defense and gets himself to the line.
Elijah Foster checks in. It's a Wolfpack team that's now down to just 7 scholarship guys available to him because of the most latest injury to Lindsey Drew.
Caleb Martin has himself missed a game a few weeks back due to injury against UNLV. He's back now, but they are limiting his minutes in practice as well.
That UNLV game, Nevada dropped it at home. Snapped a long home court winning streak as Merrill drills another three.
Well, they've got the mismatch that they want. They expose the switch up top. They don't think that Merrill can shoot over the top. It's the second time now he has.
And it's the second straight time now that Cody Martin has been aggressive and driving right at the rim. Here's McEwen trying to shake out Foster, then bumps off him. It's Brown. Into the corner. Extra pass over to the wing, and it's Cody Martin who is keeping the pack in it here in the early stages.
And that's one of the main differences between the two brothers. Caleb Martin has deep three-point range. Cody is more about a 15, 17-foot range. He's a little more versatile, can put the ball on the deck and really find guys. Great defender, rebounder for his size as well.
Yeah, there are many differences between them, especially in their looks. How about this start for Utah State? 4 out of 5 from distance. It's the second for McEwen.
Coach Duryea told us at shoot-around, they want to push in transition and be opportunistic. They've done that tonight.
They've been lighting it up from distance. Merrill's got a couple of threes. So does McEwen. Brilliant start here for the Aggies.
Utah State off to a big start thanks to leading scorers Kobe McEwen and Sam Merrill getting hot from the three-point line off kickouts. And if you're going to switch the pick and roll, Sam Merrill's going to recognize it. He's going to walk you down. He's going to raise up over the top. Both of those two have been hot early. 2 of 2 apiece from the three-point line for the Aggies.
Meanwhile, for the Wolfpack, Cody Martin is the only one who's hit a shot. He's hit all 3 of his. He's got 8 of the 9 Nevada points.
And the thing about Cody Martin is he's so opportunistic. He'll get out in transition. He'll make an open shot because he spaces to the correct area. He had a back cut where he made the right read to a layup. Very smart basketball player.
Here's the other Martin. Caleb was the preseason newcomer of the year in the Mountain West. The 2 twins sat out last year after transferring over from another Wolfpack program, but a one-word Wolfpack over at NC State. You really can't tell them apart except for the extra number, 11 and 10.
The only other way to tell them apart is Caleb wears a sleeve on his left knee and Cody wears one on his left arm, but when they're moving up and down in transition, that's hard to pick out.
A funny story, when Caleb missed that one game against UNLV, the announcer crew saw one of the brothers, didn't know which one, early in the day, and he wasn't dressed. He said, "Which brother are you?" Just trying to figure out who was hurt.
Well, it would have been easier because you could have just said Martin. You didn't have to clarify which brother.
Alice Cook commits the foul underneath, and that's something that Utah State would like to accomplish if they can find a way to get the Wolfpack in some foul trouble.
Yeah, with the lack of depth for Nevada, that's going to be something that a lot of teams key on, is try to establish the post presence early and either get easy buckets or get them in foul trouble. We've seen that a number of times this season where teams have tried to do it. They haven't always been successful because the players from Nevada are very high IQ. They are willing to give up an easy 2 and not get in foul trouble.
Cook sits down. Caroline comes back in. I'm surprised at the rate Musselman is rotating his guys right now. I mean, they're really 7 or 8 deep, but he's trying to keep them fresh as best he can.
And the nice thing it is the fact that those 7, 8 guys know they're going to play minutes. Stay locked in, stay ready. When you come out, you're going to be going right back in.
First game for the Pack without Lindsey Drew. This would have been his 100th game. He's been with Musselman his entire tenure here. Here's Caroline bodying up on Dargington. They'll go at it again. Look at the broad shoulders of Caroline, but he's bottled up in the lane. Well-defended possession for the Aggies.
Absolutely. Dargington holding his ground on a number of occasions.
Brito can't join the party here. Here comes Cody Martin. Mostly running the point today. Caleb, a deep contested 3.
He liked the mismatch he saw. The bigger Quinn Taylor is not able to move his feet and keep him in front from the perimeter. So he gapped him, he spaced him. Martin recognized it, raise up over the top.
Here's Brito down the lane, and it'll be Brito heading to the line. So Lindsey Drew was really starting to play his best basketball of his career. His points were going up, the assists have always been there. And Musselman said this is a devastating blow.
I would agree. This has a chance to really sidetrack their season as successful as it's been, because he does all the things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Yes, he's been scoring it better as of late. He's been rebounding it for a guard extremely well, but his defense and his ability to get them into offense and make the correct pass is something that they're going to miss.
Brito gets 1 out of 2. The lead is 5 right now for the Aggies. Aggies are just below that byline in the Mountain West. At the start of the day, they were in 7th place in the league, but it is jam-packed in the middle. Martin rims one out. McEwen, a very good rebounding guard, leads the team, has it. Back cut there for Taylor. Martin tried to take that charge, but he wasn't set. In that helter-skelter possession, it leads to another 3 for number 3.
Well, even if it's a helter-skelter possession, you can't lose sight of Merrill. Open 3 from the corner, 3 of 3 from behind the arc to start this game.
So he's hit 10 of his last 11 threes going back to their last game. There's Stevens for the tie. What do you like about him?
Stevens has such a quick release, always on balance. Does a great job of finding open areas. That time in the deep corner, knocks it down.
We're talking about someone who's going to have more than 100 threes before the regular season is done.
Last 4 games, he's been even better. 20 of 3 of 48 over his last 4 games.
McEwen creates for himself and parries one.
Nevada's switching ball screens. McEwen and Merrill are going to have an opportunity to attack the bigs throughout the night. They've been successful with it early thus far.
Utah State's been streaky, both in the win-loss column and in the shooting stats. Particularly when they flip the calendar over to 2018. Here's Caleb Martin now, pretty reverse.
Wow, what a finish. The ability to knife through 2 defenders and finish with the inside hand.
One consistent thing for Utah State this year is how well they have played inside this building. Here's McEwen, halfway down at every side of the rim. Now Martin pushes. That one's knocked out of bounds, and it is coming back to Utah State. We get you back here inside of the spectrum. First, it was Cody. He hit his first 3 shots. Now Caleb Martin getting into the X. You're watching March to March, presented by California Almonds. There's more college basketball tomorrow starting at noon Eastern. The women take the stage, headlined by top-ranked UConn, looking to continue their undefeated season, hosting Temple at 2. At 4, we turn things over to the Temple men's team. They take on Houston on CBS Sports Network. You want impressive? 4 players from one team are on the watch list here for the Huskies.
That's almost not fair. I mean, that's like Golden State Warriors, I believe, have 4 All-Stars in the NBA All-Star game this weekend.
That man used to coach the Golden State Warriors, Eric Musselman. Lengthy career in professional basketball, and you spent some time playing for him. What's his style? Yeah,
he is a leave no stone unturned type of coach or preparer. I played for him after I was drafted by the Atlanta Hawks in Summer League. Shortly thereafter, he was hired by the Golden State Warriors, as you mentioned, but you've got to love his passion for the game, his knowledge of the game as well. I think he's doing an incredible job in Reno.
You told me earlier that he is detail-oriented, just dialed in pretty much around the clock. Here's Quinn Taylor up over Caleb Martin on the block.
Great job on the entry, and then space the floor with split actions and screen downs to give Taylor plenty of room and time to work. But back to Musselman. Being at a few of his shoot-arounds this year, he does some things that are very unique. People learn in so many different ways, and he makes sure to cover them as Carolina gets the nice finish, both by walking through it, talking through it, video, as well as by drawing things up. Something I have never seen at the college level.
Brings that pro style here and has been very successful This is his 101st game leading this Wolfpack team. Brito down the lane, tied up and fouled. That's Josh Hall who got him.
That's a nice attack there by Brito. Duryea feels as if they are at their best when Brito is a little bit more aggressive. He kind of has that European kind of glue guy on a team mentality where sometimes he's not aggressive. When he picks and chooses his spots and really gets going, this team is that much better.
We've talked about the injuries to the Wolfpack. Caleb Martin missed a game. Lindsey Drew now out for an unspecified amount of time as they await the official MRI results of that Achilles. But Utah State has gone through their lumps as well. They're healthy now, but guys they lost early on. Big losses, Brock Miller in particular. Norbert Janisek, who would have given him some near 7-foot size. Aggies have basically led this from the opening tip. Nevada has never led. Here's Cook, who got the start in place of Drew. Shot clock down to 5. Martin sizes it up and drills one right over Sam Merrill.
Had a switch up top. The second Merrill's hand went down, Martin recognized it. Caleb raises up over the top, knocks down another 3. Great start from him.
Wolfpack coming off a tough win at Boise State. How about a tough drive for Dargington?
Alice Cook had the right idea, tried to fight himself into a front, wasn't quite able to get there in time as Dargington holds him off, and then the attack to the rim absorbed the contact from Caroline. The nice finish, chance of the 3-point play. And that's something that's really difficult for a lot of guards. When you switch like Nevada does, you have to be able to fight into a front and not allow an easy post entry. Alice Cook was trying, he just couldn't get there in time.
3-point play finished off there for the senior. How about this deep 3? Stevens transferred in from Purdue.
Good action there on the weak side. Little misdirection on the strong side to a flare. Stevens, the second his feet hit the ground and the ball's in his hands, he's ready to raise up.
Entry down there to Merrill, who got it off quickly but couldn't finish. Every chance Martin has to keep it himself and drive to the rim. He has tried. And this leads to a run out for the Aggies. Here's Brito with a bit of a Euro step.
Wasn't a bit, it was a Euro step for the Euro from Portugal. Nice finish.
When did that Euro step start becoming popular? It's only been
Manu
5
Ginobili.
years, okay?
But in the last, 5 to 7 years, guys have really embraced that move. It's more of a secondary finish, in my opinion. If the defense takes something away, you simply plan on that outside foot, and it's a slide step. There, Brito executes it nearly perfectly. But yeah, Manu Ginobili of the Spurs was probably the first guy that really popularized that move about 12 years or so ago.
Caroline can't handles it, but still brings it in. Kicks it over there to Cook. Another 3.
I'll tell you what, both teams getting it going from the outside tonight.
They combined to hit 9 threes. Here's McEwen left alone, and that's something we might see a little bit here from the Wolfpack. Give them the 2, don't commit the foul.
McEwen's got the ability to put the ball on the deck and get to the rim and finish. And he recognizes and sees the backs of the weak side defenders. That's a perfect opportunity to attack.
Josh Hall, just a sophomore out of the Houston area, and up top now to Stevens again. Caleb with a pretty spin move, but he spins right into Dargington. McEwen steps back, another 3.
We spotlighted Sam Merrill, and rightfully so, after 33 against New Mexico State. But the thing we failed to mention is McEwen struggled that night. He has definitely come to play. 7 turnovers against New Mexico. He has been aggressive to a point tonight.
Count it. Gonna get a foul on Brito on the 3 from Caleb Martin with that scissor kick, and a 4-point opportunity for the Pack when we get you back here to Logan, Utah. McEwen and Merrill have combined for 22 points. Not even 13 minutes into this one. Aggies lead is 4. The March to March, presented by California Almonds on CBS Sports Network, continues next with an Ohio Valley Conference clash. Belmont welcomes Morehead State. Coach Bird and the Bruins once again looking pretty solid in the OVC. Tied atop the league with Murray State. Seems like it's Murray State and Belmont here down the stretch in the OVC.
No greater time if you're a basketball fan than end of February, when you've got all these conference races heating up, teams getting ready for their conference tournaments, and you start seeing all these bracketologists. It's a fun time of year.
Martin trying to complete a 4-point play. Now, this isn't like the UConn women's team where they have 4 players on the Naismith watch list, but Caleb Martin is the one that they have. McEwen and Merrill have been at their best to start this game. 2 sophomores that were outstanding as freshmen and really picked up where they've left off. Another step back from McEwen.
But if I'm Coach Duryea, I'm okay with that shot. McEwen started off extremely well, 3 or 4 from 3 of his first 4 attempts. Give him the green light.
Cody Martin has started off very well as well. He's got 13 to pace Nevada. As close as they've been. Here's Isby, one of the first off the bench for the Aggies here. Fake the handoff. Brown drives baseline. It was Isby who hesitates, then launches.
Isby's been up and down over the second half of the season, which can happen a lot with junior college players.
That's banked in. Almost blocked by Taylor, and it's banked in by Cook for the first lead of the night.
Maybe it wasn't the prettiest shot, but that Wolfpack bench will take it.
9 straight now for the Wolfpack, including that 4-point play from Caleb Martin. Foul coming back the other way. Got Brown. Hook and Cook.
Brown Jr. wasn't necessarily set on the pick and roll. But we get a chance to take another look at the bank from Hollis Cook. Did he call it? Not quite sure. I do know the banks are closed at this time of day on a Saturday afternoon in Logan, Utah.
Yeah, pretty much around the country. But they are open inside the spectrum. Foul trouble creeping up on the Aggies. Brito has 2. Brown has 2. Can the Pack continue their run? It's Stevens. That's a 3.
Great execution there by the Wolfpack. Dummy action on the strong side with pick and roll, knowing the whole time they're coming back to Stevens at the 3-point line. Knocks it down again.
Wouldn't shock me if they look at that one at the under 4 timeout. To the naked eye, it looked pretty close to the line.
But if you're Coach Duryea and Aggie fans, you've got to be frustrated with that last possession. They walked over that play time and time again in shoot-around. Definitely is behind that line, but they walked through that play where this pick and roll, a double pick and roll was on the one side with a flare, and it was all dummy action to get a wide pin down for Stevens, the shooter.
I think I need to adjust the prescription on my glasses. That 3 wasn't that close. Merrill bottled up. You know, McEwen doesn't get enough credit for his ball handling. It's a wild shot in there, and we're coming back the other way.
You made a comment about his ball handling. There's one thing to have a creative handle. There's another thing to have a creative and effective handle. That time, his handle looked good, but it didn't necessarily get himself anywhere. It actually got him into pressure from the defense. This crowd doesn't like it. They want to call, but It was the correct one in my opinion. Forced up a difficult shot, was off balance as Nevada came down with a rebound.
Brad Ferry is over at the table now. They might be trying to figure out who committed the foul. McEwen was underneath the basket. And they've changed it. So it is Isby, not McEwen, who will take that foul. What a luxury for Nevada, for the Martin twins. They've played together their entire lives. They prepped at Oak Hill, then they went to NC State together, came to Nevada together. They say twins have that, identical twins in particular, that innate sense. It's just got to be amplified when you're talking about their innate sense on the floor.
They've got a great connection, knowing where each other are on the floor at all times. And they do a good job of understanding each other's strengths and limiting weaknesses as well.
Aggies suddenly find themselves needing a bucket here. 14 straight for the Pack. Will it be Merrill? Instead, it'll be Caleb Martin with the weak side rebound. Here's Hall. Taylor got a piece of the ball and the arm.
That's a difficult matchup there in transition for Quinn Taylor. Josh Hall catches it as the trailer, and he's got a full head of steam to put the ball on the deck and attack him off the bounce.
Halfway down. Coming up on AT&T at the half. Take you to our CBS Sports Network studios with Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, Seth Davis, and John Rothstein. Plus first half highlights and stats from here in Logan. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. You know, something that bit Utah State in their last game, they played on the road at New Mexico. And they were in the game, they were leading with about 12 minutes to go. They went 8.5 minutes without a bucket.
Not to mention 23 turnovers for the game. And they're a team that is typically pretty conservative with the ball, take a good job taking care of it. They did not do that in Albuquerque.
Now they've gone nearly 3.5 minutes without a point. So a second half drought on Wednesday. Here's a first half drought. Nevada gives it back to him.
Josh Hall passed up an open three there. You just got to have your hands and feet ready to catch and shoot. It's called for the little travel. He's a player that is very skilled, great defender, but he's had a little problem with some inconsistencies throughout the season. Had a great game against Fresno State with 19 points and then followed it up with some inconsistent play the last 4 games.
Here's Isby now. He loses it, but it goes right to Dargenton on the baseline, and the drought continues.
12-0 run now for Nevada.
Dargenton showed the double. Cody Martin spins away from it.
Just the patience Martin had on the block there. Waiting for that double team. As soon as it starts to come, or look as if it's going to come, spins away towards the baseline, a little jump hook. That is a pro-type move.
McEwen finds Isby in the corner. Stevens won't leave his feet, and Isby snaps that 17-0 skid. Pretty little crossover, had Dargenton backing up.
That is another example of Utah State big not being able to keep a perimeter player for Nevada in front of them. Martin creates the space, elevates over the top.
Cody's got 17, Caleb has 13. I'll do the math for you. It's easy. That's 30 points from the two twins. Dargenton hangs in the air and missed it. It was Cody Martin who affected it. Cook regained in the corner. Hall's three's off the mark.
Yeah, but that time, that was the right shot by Hall. Previous attempt by him where he got called for the travel wasn't ready that time. Didn't make it, but hands and feet were ready. That's a good look.
McEwen keeps trying to go to that step back three. Instead, it'll be Dargenton from three. Cody Martin. He's not known as much of a scorer as his brother Caleb, but he has already eclipsed his season average. Now he wants that step back three. Still waiting for that under 4 timeout. Seems like Merrill's dragging just a little bit. Red in the face as he tries to attack. Gonna get a foul on the floor. What a first half it's been for Cody Martin. Initially, it was he who was the only one with a field goal when he started 3 for 3. Then he caps a 17-0 run. You're watching March to March, presented by California Almonds. Nevada came out a little bit sluggish without Lindsey Drew on the floor. That's a thing of the past. A 17-0 run erased an early deficit. Cody Martin's got 17, Caleb's got 13, but Cook is the one who banked in a 3 as Nevada came storming back to take their first lead of the game as we get a look at our California Almonds crunch time performance.
As you mentioned, both of them are getting it done in transition and in the half court. Caleb, typically the scorer of the Twins, but Cody Martin, effective, 7 of 9 from the field. He's done it in transition, he's done it on the low block. Utah State doesn't want to double, but they're gonna have to take a look at getting him off his sweet spots and giving him a different look, that's for sure.
Where would Utah State like this game to be if they're not in the lead at the half?
Well, they need to stay within striking distance, keep it within single digits. This pace has absolutely favored Nevada. Utah State will play fast, but they're a little bit more selective in how much they want to push it, where Nevada, they will push it any opportunity.
Duryea said to us earlier today that he would ideally like to run a little bit more. He just doesn't have the horses right now to do it.
They've got so many injuries, and they've got depth issues, as does Nevada with their injuries, but Nevada, as Caleb Martin knocks down another 3. Nevada, that's just their MO. That's how they've played throughout the whole season. And just because they've lost Lindsey Drew, they're not going to change it.
McEwen used the screen, and suddenly it's Utah State that's gone ice cold from 3, with the exception of Isby just a couple of minutes ago.
1 for their last 8 from behind the arc after the hot start that you mentioned.
Meanwhile, Nevada's hit 7 of their last 9 threes and 11 of their last 15 shots. Another one for Caleb Martin. Bit of a heat check. Just another reminder, coming up next, we've got AT&T at the half. Timeout on the floor. 26 seconds left here in the opening half. Before heading out on this road trip, Eric Musselman reminded reporters in the Reno area about what he thought when he saw his schedule for the first time. He said these last 6 games, he joked that someone in the league office doesn't like him very much. It started at Boise State, then you got to come here to Utah State. Still another one with UNLV, who took a tough loss today to San Diego State. But a brutal finishing stretch. Started with a win at Boise State, and it's been a good first half for him here. This is what they're trying to run out of the timeout. Now it's just up to McEwen to create. Merrill doubled in the corner. And that's just the way it went down the backstretch of the first half for Merrill and the Aggies. But it was a different story for Cody Martin and his brother Caleb. 33 combined points for the Martin twins as Nevada looks to win their 9th league road game in their last 10 tries. That's the end of the first half. 52-40. After the break, we send you to AT&T at the half. Our CBS Sports Network studios, Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, Seth Davis, and John Rothstein.